Grateful that you've come on the show today to tell us about this process, because we must tell these stories. And good evening, America. Good morning, Australia, and welcome to everyone across the globe. This is the Artist and Author Hour with Kez Wickham St. George, and I'm your co-host, Toni Kez. Now, before we get on with the show, just a couple of things. We've been a little missing in action the last couple of weeks due to a number of things outside our control. Number one has been the incredible, devastating floods down the whole east coast of Australia. So that's an area from the top of Queensland right down to Victoria almost. And the impact of that has meant that for some of us, we've had no power, no internet, no mobile phone, no landline, which has put me out of action last week at the very least. And I'm so glad to be back with you today. Now, this show, the Author and Artist Hour, is on every week, and you can catch up on any of our shows on Binge Networks USA and the Toni TV channel app on all Roku, LG, and Samsung smart TVs across the planet. If you'd also like to catch up, you can watch on YouTube, and that's just Toni Kez on YouTube. Now, each week we have been taking part in the international movement that acknowledges the special and important role the Indigenous communities play in the development of our country's cultural identity. So this morning I want to respectfully acknowledge the people of the Yugambeh language region that's on the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, the traditional owners of the land in which we broadcast, and I pay my respects to the elders past and present and all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here listening today. Now, my gorgeous co-host, Kez Wickham St. George, is a #1 best-selling author's mentor. She's an artist in her own right and provides amazing video book reviews. I couldn't think of anyone better to co-host the Author and Artist Hour with me, but the gorgeous Kez Wickham St. George. And before I introduce you to Kez, I need to introduce you to our wonderful guest today, Diana Smith. And she is inspiring young minds. Diana is a self-published author of 3 children's books with different illustrators. Diana Smith is an early education professional, a mompreneur, a busy wife, a mother of 2 adorable kids, living and loving life in the gorgeous beachside town of Yannup, Western Australia. I don't think I've said that right. That's okay. We'll clarify in a minute. Originally from Dunedin in New Zealand, Diana's love of reading came from her mum and her big sister at an early age, reading the wonderful series of Winnie the Pooh and Beatrix Potter. Diana says, these authors inspired and influenced me greatly into wanting to become a writer myself. It wasn't until Diana met her now husband Kerry while doing a writing course that Diana started believing in her own dream of writing becoming a reality. Diana showed the first draft of My Grateful Book to a friend who is now her agent, and suddenly the dream took on a life of its own. Diana is enjoying the good feedback so far and plans on producing an entire series focused on life lessons for small children. Welcome to the show, Diana. We're delighted to have you here. Welcome back, Kez. It's so good to see you today. I'm going to hand over to Kez for the first round of questions, and welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you. Diana,
hello.
How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm good.
You're good? There you
I am.
nervous. I love the way you text me at so early in the morning. I thought, who's that?
I got my times all wrong. I was thinking I could leisurely have breakfast, wait till 11 o'clock. And then I went, oh, wait, that's standard Eastern time. We're going in about half an hour.
You're here. That's the main thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I looked a little bit different when I read your text. I'll tell you that. I was like, well, who's that? It's lovely to see you on screen, Diana. How are you keeping?
Very well.
Yeah, through the COVID nonsense, all good?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just hard, though, that we can't go into the schools and read our books at the moment.
Yes, it would be. Yeah. So, Diana, my first question to you is, you've published, I think it's 7 books now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, 7 books. Yeah. And you're recently just published your 7th one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, which one is that one? Hold it up to the screen so I can see it.
Okay. That's the awareness one. This one here. My awareness.
Okay.
That goes with the Grateful series.
Yeah. I know that book. Yeah, I just did a review on it, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did.
It's beautiful. I love the wording in it. Very well put together. Yeah.
My Grateful book, my welcome book that I had, these were the old covers.
Yes.
And then I have had them all redesigned, so now that they all look the same.
Oh,
Nice.
My welcome book.
Gosh, you're so well organized. I have to search for my books and where I put them. That's beautiful.
Yes, well, you had me dusting the bookshelf last night.
We can't see the dust from where we are.
that's right.
Well, there isn't any now.
So you're from Dunedin, and we're both New Zealanders. We're both Kiwis, and I've actually must say I've never been to Dunedin. So yeah, my husband has. I have never been there. I've got all around. My mum was born in Dunedin actually, so I'm a little bit Dunedinite, I guess. I don't know, can claim that, I don't know. So tell me more about your books. Tell me what drove you. What was the leading guide to begin writing your storybook?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's funny. It was an accident, but it's funny because I wrote my Grateful book when I was younger. And I also wrote another one, 5, that I've got up there when I was younger on an old typewriter. Remember those?
Wow.
No.
And
am I younger than you?
I had put them in a drawer. I hadn't thought about them for years. And then I was an education assistant and I hurt my back. And so I had to have a back operation and I was off work for a while. And the specialist said to me, you need something to strengthen your back. So I found a yoga instructor. And as women do, when we were working out, we got chatting, and she was the editor of the local newspaper up here. Mm-hmm. She's an amazing lady. She's a child psychologist. She's editor of lots of things. And she said to me one day, I'm touring around Australia with me and my family. Sorry, I won't be around for a while. And then I got this text. I'm so bored. I'm not working. We're traveling around Australia. I've got nothing to do. And I don't know what made me do it. I sent her the book of my Grateful book, and I sent her Clive, and I put them in an envelope and I sent them to her, and I just said, do you think I could do anything with these? And she came back and she said, I know the perfect illustrator for my Grateful book. And she put me in touch with Sarah. And the funny thing is, Sarah, we met in 2016. I went and saw her and she did some drawings for me, and it was just exactly what I pictured. And I remember leaving there going, wow, this could actually happen.
Yeah, and that's the way it happens, isn't it? All of a sudden you realise every possibility.
It is. I didn't tell my family until it was a book.
Yeah.
Because
that would be hard.
You're a bit iffy. Oh, is it going to work? Is it not? But then when I had it in my hand, oh my goodness. And it's funny because I talk about butterfly kisses and things in it, which is something my brother used to do to me. And I suddenly realized that this book is all about, we went to visit my brother in Sydney for his 21st. He was over there. And I was about 7. And he was the one that taught me butterfly kisses. And they used to run me big baths with bubble baths. So that got me into the water and the beaches. And then it wasn't till last year, I was walking upstairs and my parents had taken me to the markets. And you know how you get your picture drawn at the markets?
Oh, nice.
So that was me in Sydney when I was about 7.
Yeah.
This is what Sarah drew in my book.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like me when I was 7.
That's
Yes.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was your first book.
Yes.
The Grateful Book was your first book. What was the I know you have a series of Grateful books, but then you have pardon?
Yes. Oh no, I was just going to say, because the publisher who was helping me then said you can't just have one book.
That's right.
And I went, but I haven't written since I was a kid. I don't know if it's still there. But sat down at the computer and the welcome book was there.
That's a lovely story. I think all authors go through it, but it's the way we sort of walk through that tunnel of who holds out their hand to help, who says I can illustrate, because your words are beautiful in the book. They're just beautiful. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a poetry book coming out soon, because the beginning, I've noticed that in your writing, your words are beginning to flow, which means, to me, it means there's a poet there somewhere.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Challenge.
Yeah. No pressure.
Yeah, so excuse me. There is also not only your first lot of books you brought out, but I really fell in love with your books about dogs. Tell us about them.
Oh, Bruiser. We've got an old dog, Dash, and we bred her a few years ago, and she had puppies, and we kept one of the boys, Bruiser. And I don't know, at the end of our street, we live in a cul-de-sac. So we've got a beautiful park at the bottom of the street. So every morning and evening, we go down to the park and chase the ball. And he just loves it. And I was walking around the park one day and I remembered there was a book when I was a kid. It was a black and white book, and it was a boy with a red balloon. I think it's even called The Boy with a Red Balloon. I'm not too sure. But I thought, oh, you could write a book with a little boy and Bruiser, maybe. That could be a story. But then when I started writing Bruiser, the little boy disappeared. It was just Bruiser seeing the birds at the park and the frogs and everything at the park. And it's even got his friends at the park that he plays with. So I was so excited to take the book to the park and say, look, here's your dog.
That's gorgeous. I mean, I have reviewed those books, and because I've met Bruiser and I've met the other one, I think it was the dad. Was it the mum or the dad?
Mum.
Bruiser?
Mum.
Yeah, I've met them both when you were camping up this way. Beautiful dog, a big, strong, husky dog. Not a tiny little small dog, a dog that lets you know they're around. The books are beautiful and they're so true. I mean, the image, the illustrations paint, then your words to it. I could relate. I actually related to the dog. I thought, this is wonderful. So well done.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, when we did Bruiser at the park, I didn't think there would be another one. But then we went up to the beach one day and I suddenly realised, oh, you put Bruiser in the book. What about Dash? That's not fair. So then Bruiser and Dash at the beach came out, and it's all about, like, they lose their ball in the waves and then all these fish help them bring the ball back. So it's great for kids to learn about teamwork and cooperation. And then Bruiser goes camping. Well, that was just because we go camping with Bruiser.
That's right.
And it's weird because it's to see your life in the book. Like, it's got our camper and it's got our house and it's got our car.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the illustrator Julie is in Florida. So when I got the first pictures back of the car, my husband pointed out steering wheel was on the wrong side.
Of course.
I hadn't thought of that. I wouldn't have picked that up.
Yeah.
But
No,
with Bruiser at the Park, Julie Weaver, the lady who illustrates it and does the beautiful pictures, her daughter is a singer. So I sent her the words to Bruiser at the Park, and she put it to music. So now Bruiser's a nursery rhyme.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, I haven't heard the nursery rhyme. I've read all the books, so I haven't heard the nursery rhyme.
Oh, you haven't?
Where would I get? Where does that come into it? Is
It's
it
on
an
my
app
YouTube.
or what?
Yeah, it's
On
on my
your YouTube.
YouTube channel, but my wonderful social media guy, because being old, I said to him, so what do? Do I put the nursery rhyme on a CD at the back of the book? He said, no, sweetheart, we get a QR code. And all I do is he's given me a sticker with the QR code on it, and I just stick it on the back of the book. And so people just put their phone on and they can listen to
It takes it straight to
my YouTube channel. So it's good because they can listen to, I've done some meditations on there around my books. So they can listen to the meditations, they can listen to Bruiser's nursery rhymes, they can listen to anything they want.
Diana.
Sorry, Toni, go. You go.
I was going to say, Diana, just going back to the Grateful books, what was it that you wanted to teach little ones about grateful and being grateful?
I think with my children's father,
Yes.
he was a bit of an abusive alcoholic.
Yes.
So I think these are lessons when I got out of that relationship and realized that I was good enough and the benefits of gratitude and that we are allowed to have feelings like in the awareness book. I think they're lessons that I had to relearn again.
Yeah.
And so I think I've written these in the hope that if I teach it to kids constantly, they won't lose. They'll keep remembering the benefits of gratitude. And especially in my welcome book where it says you're good enough. I mean, I'm hoping when mums read it, they get that too.
And Diana, you normally, when schools are open and everything's kind of back to normal, normally you go into schools and read your books in schools?
Yeah, and I have gratitude games, and I've got a giant Jenga with different questions on it, like when they play it, like what's something you did well recently? What's your favorite animal?
Oh, wow.
What's your favorite song? Just different activities that they can do.
And of course, that's been based on your experience as an educator for young children as well.
Yeah. Try to teach them something while making it fun.
Yeah. Do you think that kids understand gratitude? At what age, from your experience, do they start to begin to understand gratitude and understand the importance of it?
I think when they're young, they experience it, but I don't think they really get to understand the benefits of it until they're a bit older.
Yeah. Fair
like
enough.
when they get to school. Yeah.
And what age group are the Grateful books aimed and the series aimed at? Is there a particular age?
About 1 to 7.
Yes.
Although I have read them to. I went to one school and she said, I've got 100 children and they're age 8, and I went, they might be they might be a bit old for the books, but no, they still enjoyed it. They loved doing the lessons on gratitude and
Good. Kez?
Yeah, in my mind, I can see, because when you're not allowed in the schools anymore, you need to get on the screen, and you need to be able to video yourself reading a book and doing action songs. I mean, I've known you for a while, and you're a fabulous educator. So, putting your your thoughts and how children should be perceived and how the kids should see the world these days. It's all in your books. So they are fabulous books. You know, don't ever doubt yourself about that, because they really are. All of my grandchildren are from the age of 15. No, I think that you're 15 down. I've got your books. My neighbours' kids have got your books. And that's 4 houses going down the road. Every time you give me a book, I pass it on really quickly, and I can see them in the backyard reading it. So they are interested in learning a kinder world and learning to be grateful, you know, because at the moment, you know, I just want to send all your books over to the Ukraine, to be honest, and say, here, have a read, you know, it'll teach you something. It's you have a genuine gift, you really do, to pass on to the younger generation. So what's your next adventure?
Like I said, I've just done some meditations around the books that kids can listen to. And I've just started doing some lesson plans around each book. Like I've done one about being good enough. And I've done, because in the Grateful book, I talk about water, and water is my happy place. If I'm in the pool or in the shower or waterfalls, anything to do with water, just it inspires me. So I always come up with a good idea when I'm around water. Right. So I've written a lesson plan on water, and I think I've just with me and my social media man, maybe try to figure out something online that kids can watch since we can't get into the classroom.
I see there's you have a favourite quote. Can you tell us what it is? About the staircase?
It'll be the staircase.
Yeah.
Just taking one step at a time. And I've got my wonderful life coach, Annette Stanton, and she always brings me back to keep it simple, because it is just one step at a time.
Yes.
And it's funny, my brother just got me onto the book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse.
Uh-huh.
And in that book, it says something about the little boy is guiding the horse, and he says, I can't see far ahead. And the horse says, well, can you just see your next step? And he says, yes, I can. Just take that.
Yes, I agree. Just one step at a time. But, you know, we all run ahead. We sort of get lost, don't we? We always think, hang on, I should go back. Toni?
I am resonating with that at the moment, in being in the current circumstances that we are, and you get to a point where you can't do any more until, for example, the assessor comes and assesses the damage. So you're in like a holding pattern, and at that point you can only just do one step at a time. You've then got to sit and wait, and then the next step will come along, and then the next step will come along, and then you'll be down the track and it will all be over. Diana, the staircase quote, does it have extra special meaning to you for some reason?
Yes, because I'm very impatient.
Yes.
And I was wanting everything now. Why isn't it happening now?
I can identify with that.
I just wanted to leap ahead. And the other thing I don't do is recognise how far I've come.
Yes.
Or what I've done during the week even. I don't look back and go, oh, wow, I did that.
Because, Diana, 7 children's books and the associated programs, games, workshops, etc., that is an achievement, you know.
Yeah.
As an amazing legacy for you and your family as well.
And sometimes it hits me that, oh my goodness, when I'm not around, these books still will be.
They will.
I've left something to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It does.
More importantly, Diana, perhaps you've left something with a child. You know, that's where your footsteps are. Excuse me, in children's hearts. You know, so when they read a book, they know that they can take that step, and they know that everything is, if it's done with gratitude, everything's possible.
Yeah.
So you've done
It's
that.
okay to have feelings. We've all got feelings.
We
I
have.
haven't told you about Clive.
No, tell me about Clive.
Well, Clive's the clan. Yeah, the adventures of Clive. He's up here. Now he's the one, look, he was written on a typewriter. An old typewriter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And this is Clive. Now I wrote him when I was a teenager, and he was another one that got put in a drawer.
Oh,
Now I work for a dentist, and the dentist's daughter is an artist. And one day my boss's wife said, "Oh, you should do a book with Ria one day." And I went, "Oh, I haven't written anything." And then I pulled out Clive and I took it to her and said, "What do you think?" And she said, "Oh, yes, I'd love to do that. I can just see it now." So she spray paints from pictures, and she
oh,
spray paints them on big boards. Look at this. This is 2 of the pages. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
wow.
see that.
oh my, that's beautiful.
Yes, yeah.
They are. So I've got all the pages of books on paintings like this, which is amazing. So Bruce is above the dining room. But she said, "I need a picture of a little girl."
Mhm.
You know, oh my goodness, my children are all grown up. So I got my niece to come over with her little friend.
Oh,
So that's my niece and her little friend. So then I had called them Sarah and something, I don't know what I'd called them back then. So then I changed the words in the book to Adeline and Angus. So it's actually now a story with my niece in it.
Beautiful.
oh, wow.
That's definitely a legacy you've left behind there.
So look, there's Bruce again.
Oh,
Oh,
So, yes, but
Diana,
the photographer had a great
was just
time
gonna say,
photographing. Yeah.
so when we're talking about illustrations for children's books, do you actually go looking for someone, or does it see, it seems to me that the universe draws them to you, because the spray painter was your dentist's daughter, and then she's done the beautiful spray painting images, and then a photographer comes along and photographs the
Yeah.
image, I'm assuming, and then it goes
Yeah.
into your book. So has that organic way to get your illustrations done, has that been the way through the whole of the books, that just when you've thought, oh, I need
Yeah.
someone to illustrate this, it's kind of connected you with the person that you needed to be connected with to illustrate the book?
It has, like with Brooke putting me onto Sarah, the dentist suggesting Ria, and
Yes.
then Julie I found on Facebook. She was a pet portrait. She does pet portraits.
Yeah.
And I just messaged her and I said, "Oh, I really like your pictures."
Mhm.
She said, "Well, go on Guru and have a look
Yeah.
at my work."
Uh-huh.
Guru is an amazing place. They've got artists and things in there, and you pick an artist that you like and send them your book, and then they'll send you a quote back whether they want to do it or not.
And Diana,
Amazing.
did you always want to do like painting type images for your children's book? Did you toy with the idea of real photography at any stage, or you like this kind of genre of painting for illustrating your books?
Yeah, no, I like the painting side of it. Yeah, I do.
Good. They're
Yeah.
certainly beautiful.
Yeah, well, it was funny. I stalked Kez on Facebook too. That's how we first met.
Everyone stalks Kez. She's everywhere, which is wonderful for the world.
Yes, well, an English publishing company had offered to publish one of my books, but you have to pay them, and then I think they take your book, and you kind of lose. It's not your baby
control?
anymore. You lose control. They do what they want with it. And I went, oh. And then Kez popped up as a New Zealand author, and I went, I might just ask her the question.
Kez, yeah.
What do you think? She's
Yeah.
like, no, let me help.
Yeah.
And 7 books later.
Yeah. So have you had the same publisher the whole way through, Diana?
No, I had a publisher that helped me with the Grateful book and the Welcome book.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I've just done them all myself. I'm
Yeah.
part of Everything Publishing Academy on Facebook.
Yes.
And she's an amazing lady. She helps you with your self-publishing, any advice, questions, people you need to connect with. She's there.
Yeah.
And,
That's
and the name of
amazing.
that lady?
Karen McDermott.
Oh my word, did that name pop up again?
Again, that girl is everywhere.
Hey, Diana, there's a couple of questions here that I would really like to talk to you about the way you communicate with kids, and we've talked about your schools and reading in the schools and stuff like that. But you're also a full-time you work with a dentist full time as the office manager. So how do you get time? And there's people listening out there think, okay, she goes to schools. How can I get her to come and talk to me, or I do a video of her reading the book? How would they? They must be wondering how you do all this.
Yeah, in my spare time. I have lessened my hours at the dentist so that I can spend more time with the books and things. And
Yeah.
They just email me or call me. We can do Zoom calls.
Okay. Yeah.
And you have a YouTube channel too, Diana. Yeah, you have a YouTube channel as well. Yeah.
Yes, I've got up to something like 24 subscribers.
Lovely.
Let's try and get some more subscribers for Diana. That would be good. I'd really love everyone to jump on and subscribe to Diana's YouTube channel. And the team listening in the background will pop the link in the chat box. And everywhere that you're watching this interview from, you will have links to all of Diana's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. What else have we got? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course the YouTube channel. And I'm guessing that you can connect from all of those socials as well, Diana.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Because I do get, the other night I got a question sent to me. Do you know a good children's author? And I went, I do.
I do.
I do.
You know a few.
I do. Yeah. But because you're so the word isn't available, but you do make yourself available to help other people write books. So I just throw people their names your way and we swap names, etc. There's quite a few people in the States that are very interested in what you do. And
yeah, I noticed that. It's amazing. I get more reviews from America than I do from Australia.
Yeah, you will do.
Yeah. America is just, it's such a bigger marketplace for everyone to be in. It's why I use American broadcast platforms, because there's just a bigger audience and a bigger a place to talk about. And your books are beautiful, Diana, so the world should see them readily and there's, with technology today, there's no reason why you can't be connected with a huge following in the US.
Yeah, there's no reason at all.
That's great.
Now, the other question I have for you is, what's this easy feat I'm reading about?
Oh, gosh. That was an interesting adventure. And then COVID blew it out of the water. It's a funny story because we went on our honeymoon to Hamilton Island, and when we came back, the battery was flat in the car. So we had some jumper leads, and we asked one of the workmen if they could jumpstart us, and they said our policy isn't, we're not allowed, sorry. So we had to wake someone up at 1 o'clock in the morning to come and jumpstart us. So as we were leaving the airport, the man said, if someone had a jump starter out here, they'd make a fortune, because apparently with the new immobilizers, it was flattening all the batteries.
Yes.
So then I got online and I was searching for battery chargers that you could maybe put in a vending machine that you could have at the airport so that people can wouldn't call out the RAC. They could just
Yep.
start their own car. But I was buying all these battery chargers, and nothing was powerful enough to start. We had a big four-wheel drive. Nothing was powerful enough to start it unless it was this size. It was huge, and it's not going to fit in a vending machine. But I'd also got hold of a vending machine man and spoken to him. Now, the battery chargers kind of went by the wayside, and I've forgotten about them. He contacted me and said, I've got this man in Australia who's starting up a business. It's called Roller Soul, and we're putting flat ballet shoes in vending machines and nightclubs so that when girls have sore feet, they've got something to put on.
Yeah.
We went, oh, that sounds like
a good idea.
It is. So we bought the first 2 vending machines. They were already in a nightclub. All I had to do was stock it up, and that was great. Then Roller Soul changed their packaging, and it wouldn't fit in our machines. Now, when we went back to Roller Soul about it, they said that the man who had sold us the machines had got them made up here in Australia. He hadn't actually bought the proper Roller Soul machines. So it wasn't his problem. So then we were kind of in the middle.
Oh, good. Excellent.
So I wasn't sure what to do when I went back home to see my mother, and my brother was on this site one day, and it's called Alibaba.
Yes,
and I said, what's Alibaba?
I know the site.
And he said, where have you been? Do you live under a rock?
Alibaba has
sells
everything.
And I went, oh, do they sell flat ballet shoes? Yes, they've got everything. So then we spoke to somebody legally, and we hadn't signed any contracts with Roller Soul or anything. So then we were able to change. We were able to brand it ourselves. So we called it Easy Feet. That was the name my husband came up with.
Yeah.
And we bought the shoes from Alibaba ourselves. Yeah. Now, it was doing really well. So we bought 3 more machines, and they were all in nightclubs doing really well. The women loved them. The casino loved the fact that the girls had another option. It was either, because before it was put on your shoes or get out. Now it was go and buy a pair of shoes, flat shoes.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was doing really well. And the bag the wrapping around the shoe becomes a bag for you to put your high heels in.
Oh,
nice.
That's brilliant. That's
so
brilliant.
they were doing really well, and then COVID hit and all the nightclubs shut down.
Ah, yes.
So I have 5 vending machines in my house and thousands of pairs of shoes.
Oh, Diana. But you'll be able to, like, it'll go back to you being able to put them into nightclubs, won't it, soon?
Yeah, it should start up again, yes. I think people are starting to go out again now. The only thing is I think we're about to get hit. I mean, we're about to get it like over Easter's had it.
Yes, like we had it,
It could be a year or 2 before.
Yeah. Challenging times.
But
what a great idea. What a
Yeah.
great idea. Have you thought about putting them in other states? Like, Sydney, for instance.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Or even, we did think train stations, but they said no, they just wanted food. I thought I was going to say,
who cares about women's feet?
Yeah, but I thought it would be great between the women going to work and going out.
Oh, definitely.
I thought it would be handy, but
I think it's a brilliant idea, Dinah. Yeah, I'd be going the other states that are all open. I'd bypass Western Australia for a little while and go into the other states. It's a brilliant idea. Because girls, we know how our feet get. I remember when I was younger how my feet would feel at the end of the day. Like now it's just, you know that your feet are going to be not great by the end of the day if you're wearing high heels. But for young women, having a flat to put on and a bag to carry their high heels in, what a great idea. Why haven't someone thought of this sooner?
I did.
Next thing, they'll have books in vending machines. Now, what a good idea that would be. Oh, there is
a thing.
Already?
Yes, it is a thing. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because imagine if you had a child's book vending machine at an airport for parents who've forgotten to pack books for kids for a long, short, medium flight. What a great idea that would be.
Yeah,
You need to get into the bookshops and the airports, maybe.
Yeah.
You don't need a book. You don't need a bookshop then. You've got your own vending machine.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking of, how busy parents get, and when you're trying to get kids ready for a trip, and you're trying to remember all the things that they need to pack in their bag, and oops, forgot the books. Because it's definitely something that keeps them occupied on a trip.
Oh, yes. A lot of it is screen work these days. So the more books you get onto your screen, because now people are flying all over the world again.
Yeah, that's right.
Excuse me. It's it's going to be big.
Because even if they bought one book and it had the QR code on the back that took you to YouTube, one book could lead to a whole,
I've just started reading them. I've just started sending my social media man me reading the book. So if the parents don't have time to read it,
absolutely,
the child can look at the pictures and I'm actually reading them the story.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I've done my grateful stories. I've just got to read the bruiser one.
Yeah. Diana, I know that you've got a real love of children's books. Have you ever thought about older children, teenagers, adult books, or are children's books your first and foremost love?
Well, my children's books are my first love.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting myself in a box and saying, "Oh, I'm only a children's author." I am writing a story that is for adults. It's going to take years to write.
Yeah, they're
I
longer.
have started up.
Children's books are
children's books are quick. Yeah. few months and it's done.
Yes.
But this one is but yeah. In saying that, I was listening to an author the other day who said it took 10 years to write their book. So
yeah, it does. Unless you
I've got time.
Unless you Kez writes quickly, and she writes big books quickly. So, but sometimes there's innovative ways. So I'm started working on my next book, and I've got not time to type, so I'm actually voice recording it.
Yeah.
As I go. Every time I think of something that I want to put into the next book, I'll voice record it on my little recorder thing, and eventually I'll put it, translate it and put it into a freeform document. But time is a little challenging for me, so I find that having that little voice recorder, which looks a bit like this, and it just plugs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it just plugs directly into the computer, and you can just record as I think, because I'm trying to record as my brain thinks of subject matter, and then I'll figure it out later. But I wanted to get
as
started
you're saying
and not put it off. Yeah. Well,
as you're saying it types it.
You can do that with Word anyway. If you set up Word on your computer, in the top right-hand side, I think there's a little microphone icon.
I do
and
that.
if you tap that, it will immediately transcribe for you.
Yeah.
But you have to be sitting in front of your laptop or your desktop to do that. Whereas this little device, I can actually, you can do it anywhere. It sits in my handbag. Sometimes I'll be driving and I'll just grab it and hit record because I'm thinking of something that I want to write about, and do it that way.
A whole new world.
I know. That's why.
Oh my God.
Yes. So that's for busy people who have a lot on their plate. That's how I'm starting to do it, because people kept saying, when's the next book? When's the next book? And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't got time to type. And then I'm like, oh, right, use your voice. Use your voice. So if you're sitting in front, open Word, hit on the little microphone, right-hand corner, and it will start typing. And then you've just got to edit. So that's, I know lots of
Oh
people
no, I got
are
one of
using
those.
that technology. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Very
that
simple,
might,
Diana. Very simple.
yeah.
I do it.
And yeah,
Oh,
I was
wow.
just going to say, Kez does it. Yeah. So if you're thinking about writing that bigger, longer book, that might be something that gets it happening sooner rather than later. Because as you said, kids are, and that for me too, I've got kids' books running around in my head because our goats and llamas provide such fodder for funny shenanigans and laughter, and people keep saying, you should write kids books about these guys, they're hilarious, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just add that to my to-do list. But I think that there are the technology is around that can help you do those sorts of things.
Definitely.
Yeah, because
Where's
if
my
you're
Visa card?
already
I'm going
if
shopping.
you're if you're already writing, you've got 7 children's books already, so you've already got a writer's author's profile. Why not add to that and add different levels of fans? And then your YouTube channel, we're going to aim to get you some YouTube subscribers, and then you can just say, oh, I'm thinking about writing about blah blah blah, and people can interact with you and go, oh, that sounds like a great idea. How about, open things up to the public.
That's right.
And social media can have some really great benefits. Yeah, sure, there's the occasional twerp that makes life uncomfortable, but that's why you have a block and delete button. And the more
Not
creative...
everybody has to like you.
That's right. That's right. But the world and humanity needs more stories. There is an endless need for stories and storytelling, whether they're for children or whether they're for adults. And only Diana can write from Diana's unique perspective, tone of voice, etc. The same as Kez. Only Kez can write Kez-style books. And so there's enough uniqueness in the world, there's enough demand in the world for us to do that. So absolutely, you're successfully writing children's books. Why not, older children, middle, whatever you like. The world's your oyster, Diana. And particularly if you put those vending machines in Sydney, like I'm thinking of my Sydney friends and going, that's a great idea. Not just for the young women, but for us old girls who occasionally have a night out and go, oh my God, my feet are killing me. You know that feeling.
We do.
Diana, we're going to run out of time. We've got 5 minutes or so left. Where's the best place to get your books?
Well, there's my website, dianasmithbookstoinspire.com, or Amazon.
Yep.
They're all on
Amazon's
Amazon.
You can get anything on Amazon. Like, seriously, we were looking for something obscure on the weekend, like cedar mothballs, and it was Amazon that we went to get bulk cedar mothballs. So Amazon has everything from that to good books. Can you for our listeners, can you read and show up each one of your books for us, please, Diana?
Oh my goodness. All right. So we have, starting with my Grateful book. Oh, plus on Amazon, you can get them in hard copy as well.
Yes. So that's the hard copy one. Okay.
This is my Grateful book. Then we've got my Welcome book.
And what's the My Welcome book about, Diana?
It's welcoming a baby into this world. It's great for baby showers. It's welcoming a baby. Welcome to this earth. You're loved.
You've just solved a problem for me. That's excellent. I know what I'm going to get. Yeah.
Soul.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And the third one came out this is one, I'm launching this one online in a few weeks, but I have got it ready to sell.
Yes. Yeah.
It's all about, it's okay to have feelings. There's people we can talk about. talk to. It's all right to make mistakes. They're just learning
Yes.
experiences.
And it's called the awareness.
Yes.
Yep.
Remember that words spoken, they really do matter. They can lift up as easily as they can shatter.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, that's cool. Excellent. And the next one?
Then we did The Adventures of Clive.
I know. Can you open it up for us, please, Diana? It's so lovely.
She does amazing illustrations. Where is
Yeah, look at
Clive?
that. Look at that page there. That's beautiful.
She's
Look
put
at
it on
that.
She's used it as a hat on her mouth. Can you guess where he is in there?
Is that in the ocean?
No, she's played with him in her bedroom and he's landed on
Yeah.
a pile of clothes and now he's going through the washing machine.
Oh, my goodness.
And then he lands on the grass and the dog sniffs him. But it has a happy ending.
Oh,
It
good.
does have a happy ending.
Oh,
Yes,
see,
it
look
was
at
so
that.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, now we're on to the Bruiser series. Can you see Bruiser's everywhere? Here's Bruiser.
Oh, he's actually got his own. Oh,
He comes
look
to
at
the school,
that.
and he was a puzzle. That was fun.
The developing process for the puzzle, Diana?
I forgot that was in the middle of the book, holding it up. Bruiser at the park.
Oh, wow.
Look at her amazing illustrations. And these are his real friends at the park.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, that is gorgeous. They all look so happy. There's nothing quite like a happy dog face, is there?
And this is Bruiser
Oh,
and
there's the
Mum.
beach.
Yeah.
Bruiser at the beach. And Bruiser signs his books.
Oh, go, Bruiser.
He's got his paw print.
That's fantastic.
I love the old umbrellas.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The colours.
They're a bit hard to get, those colourful umbrellas now. You know, with the different multicolour strands. They're normally just black or all solid colour. Oh, look
true.
at that.
It's funny, like
Nice. Yeah.
Julie's in Florida, but she loves
Yes.
drawing Australian animals.
Oh,
Beautiful.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she just loves, and I love like the shadows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just
That's
amazing.
great.
Oh, and the turtles. I've got that as a colouring in page.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's really lovely, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, turtles are great. And kids are
And then-
fascinated by turtles.
This is our life in a book.
Bruiser's camping. Yep. Yep.
So, now I've got to show you at the back of the book. It's quite funny, but see, we're camping.
Yes.
The problems that we have as authors, I just wrote the book. Oh, she wanted to draw platypus. She
Oh,
loves
yeah.
platypus.
Yes.
So it's got all the Australian things
They're-
you'd see when you were camping.
They're the greatest, weirdest creatures on the planet.
Yeah.
They seriously are weird. But
Yes.
they're beautiful.
When I was getting it printed, the
Uh-huh.
printer says to me, "You're short 2 pages."
No.
And I, what do you mean you're short 2 pages? She says it needs to be however many pages. I look at the owl. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So I got back to Julie and I said, "They say I need another 2 pages." Well, she sent me this one, which is cute with their marshmallows.
Oh,
camping.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That is
But
very
then she
lovely.
sent me this one. Well, I haven't laughed so much out loud. Bruiser's fishing.
That's
And he's got his
brilliant.
little fishing overalls on.
Yeah, that's great.
She said, "Do you
She's-
want them without the overalls?" And I went, "No, I want the overalls."
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh,
Diana, that's gorgeous.
yes.
That's
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
So then I just put the sticker in the book
Yeah,
Yep.
and that
when
leads
people
them
order
to
it off me. Yeah, I've got a graphic designer at the moment who's adding it to the books on Amazon,
Yeah.
so that when people order it off Amazon, they'll get the material as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Diana, thank you so much for sharing with Kez and I your beautiful, beautiful books.
That's
I
right.
wish
Thanks for
you
having me.
every success, and please
Yes.
don't stop writing. I'm sure Kez will keep you to that writing goal, and keep writing children's books, but yeah, give the other writing a go, because obviously it's in your soul for a reason, and we need more books across the planet, particularly
We
now
do.
when things are just a little crazy, shall I say.
Well, you've just opened up a whole new world for me now.
Kez and I are here to please. Diana, thank you for sharing so openly
you.
with us on the show today. It's wonderful to share you with our audience. We don't have a lot of children's authors that come on the show, so it's really, really appreciated that you were able to come and speak to both Kez and I on the show today. Kez, thank you so much. We will be
Thank you.
back next week. Diana, don't forget to jump onto Diana's website, look for her books on Amazon, and please subscribe to Diana's YouTube channel today. You'll be glad if you've got kids that you did. And that, my wonderful friends, is your lot for this week. We will be back next week with another author artist hour with Kez Wickham St. George and myself. Diana, thank you so much. Bye for
Thank
now,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
I'm so grateful that you've come on the show today to tell us about this process, because we must tell these stories. We